Most people that can't touch their toes think that it's an issue primarily with their hamstring flexibility. And while there's certainly a factor, there's commonly a very underappreciated reason as to why the hamstrings feel like the limiting factor in the first place. In order for us to bend over and touch our toes, our pelvis needs to access a certain position. That position involves the femur moving further back within the hip socket, which is referred to as internal rotation. We also need to create length on the back side of the pelvis within our glutes and, yes, somewhat of our hamstrings as well. So what's key to understand here is the hamstring stretching out is secondary to our ability to actually push our center of gravity back and for the femur to slide back within the hip socket. So the point is, if we can't access this internally rotated position, we're going to end up actually more so folding through our spine and our low back. Our hips aren't going to get pushed back as much as they need to. Simply just folding over and trying to touch our toes is going to put too much of an increased stretch demand on the hamstrings. So the hamstrings are going to feel like the limiting factor when in reality they'd be able to go deeper if they could actually move and shift into their hips into that internally rotated position. Here's an exercise that will teach you how to shift that center of gravity back and open up space on the back side of the pelvis so you can access that position. For this, all you need is a table or a surface about waist height and a foam roller. Place that foam roller in between your upper thighs and stand with your feet hip width apart about 1 foot length away from the edge of that table. Keeping your whole foot relaxed, feel these 3 points of contact on both feet. Bend your knees about 10 to 15%, and then rest your hands on the table like so, keeping your arms straight. Now, making sure you keep a neutral spine, you're gonna slowly lean forward within your torso as your hips go back, sliding your arms forward. Stopping at the point where you feel the first sensation of a stretch in your glutes. Not as much your hamstrings, but your glutes. You might feel a little bit in your hamstrings, and that's okay. At the first sensation of a stretch, at that first stopping point, about a 2 to 3 out of 10 stretch, you're gonna maintain this position, keep a neutral spine and neck, and then squeeze that foam roller literally just to 2 out of 10, making sure you're still heavy over those points of contact in your feet. Take a couple of slow, deep diaphragmatic breaths in this position, maybe just about 2. After those 2 breaths, release the tension on that foam roller and go just an inch or 2 deeper, stopping at the point where you feel a tiny bit more stretch. And then you're gonna squeeze again, just a 2 or 3 out of 10. You're gonna take 2 more breaths in this position. Keep doing this and repeating lower and lower until you go to the point where you start to feel any tension in your low back, or your back is gonna start to round or overly arch for you to get lower. Once you get to that point, stop, go up to the top, and repeat this whole cycle 2 more times. You'll probably get a little bit lower each time. After a few rounds of that, retest your toe touch and see how you feel.